The movie opens with an aerial shot of the Pacific Ocean at night. A storm rages, waves crashing against a cargo ship. On deck, masked mercenaries unload crates filled with advanced weapons. The ship bears the black insignia of a spiraling wind symbol, the mark of Adrian Voss's syndicate. Suddenly, a U.S. Coast Guard vessel appears in the distance. Alarms blare. Gunfire erupts across the waves. Mercenaries fire RPGs, destroying the Coast Guard's radar. The cargo ship slips into the storm, vanishing like a ghost. Cut to San Francisco Bay. We meet Ethan Cole, working with a rescue team, saving fishermen stranded in turbulent seas. He dives into the freezing water, dragging a half-drowned man to safety. His skill and bravery impress everyone. But when Ethan removes his mask, we see his haunted eyes. Later, in a quiet locker room, he stares at an old photo. His Navy team from Afghanistan. He whispers, "I should have brought you all home." This sets the emotional foundation. Ethan is a man burdened by survivor's guilt. Claire Dawson enters the story. Claire, a sharp investigative journalist, is shown meeting an informant in a rain-soaked alley. The informant hands her a USB drive. They're moving weapons by sea, something called black wind. If you dig deeper, you'll find death riding the waves. Before Claire can ask questions, a sniper shot silences the informant. She barely escapes. Clutching the USB, the first collision of worlds, Claire's investigation leads her to the coastal rescue station where Ethan works. She believes he's her only chance to survive what she has uncovered. Their first meeting is tense. Claire insists, "You were Navy SEAL, you know these waters. You know how to fight men like Voss. I'm done fighting wars. The ocean takes enough lives without me chasing ghosts." But when mercenaries raid the station at night to steal the USB from Claire, Ethan is forced into combat. A brutal close-quarters fight inside the storm-battered facility shows his lethal skills. He saves Claire, but half the station is burned down. Ethan realizes the war has found him again. Ethan, Claire, and Lucas Kane, a young tech specialist from the station, study the USB. It reveals shipping routes and encrypted logs of Voss's arms deals. The next major transfer will happen in 3 nights, during the peak of a massive Pacific storm. Claire, if Voss gets these weapons out, governments will burn. He sells to terrorists, warlords, anyone with blood money. Ethan reluctantly agrees to stop Voss, knowing only a man who's lived in storms can fight him there. We cut to Voss on his flagship Tempest, a heavily modified freighter with missile systems disguised as cranes. He interrogates a traitor who leaked info. Voss whispers, "The wind hides everything, even death," then orders the man thrown into the sea. Voss is portrayed as a calm, calculating villain who believes chaos is nature's law. Training and preparation montage, Ethan reconnects with Captain Ramirez, his mentor, who agrees to provide covert support. We see Ethan training, freediving, practicing combat in stormy seas, while Lucas rigs drones and surveillance tech. Claire sharpens her investigative angle, connecting dots that prove Voss's syndicate supplies both sides of wars to keep conflict eternal. Romantic tension builds between Ethan and Claire, though Ethan resists, still scarred by his past. Just as they prepare for the mission, a shocking betrayal occurs. Nadia Voss, Adrian's estranged sister, makes contact. She claims she wants to stop her brother. Adrian was once human, but now, he's become the storm. But is she truly on their side, or playing them into Voss's hands? The act ends with Ethan and his team sailing into the storm aboard a small, weaponized rescue vessel. As thunder roars, the words "death" and "winds" appear across the screen. The ocean is monstrous. Waves rise like black mountains. Lightning splits the sky. Ethan grips the wheel of their vessel, the Sentinel, while Lucas monitors drones through a laptop, struggling to keep signal amid the gale. Nadia, her face pale but eyes burning with determination, guides them. My brother's flagship, the Tempest, always sails at the heart of the convoy. He believes no storm can touch him. Claire loads her camera gear and pistol. Ethan glances at her. "You sure you're ready for this?" Claire, truth doesn't wait for calm seas. It survives in storms. Their vessel slices through the chaos until radar picks up multiple ships. Voss's convoy appears, colossal shadows in the rain, glowing faintly with cargo lights. The black wind insignia flashes like a curse. Ethan launches an underwater drone carrying EMP charges. It dives beneath the stormy surface and attaches to a mercenary escort ship's hull. Moments later, boom, the ship blacks out, powerless, tossed by waves. But the sabotage doesn't go unnoticed. Floodlights sweep the seas, machine guns tear into the storm. Ethan's team takes evasive maneuvers, bullets sparking off their steel hull. Claire films everything despite the danger, whispering to herself, "This is the story that will bury Black Wind forever." Ethan makes the call. We take the Tempest. Cut off the head, the body dies. Using grappling launchers, Ethan and Nadia board the Tempest. Rain lashes down, the deck is crawling with mercenaries, masked and armed. A brutal firefight erupts. Ethan moves with Navy precision, swift, silent takedowns mixed with explosive force. Nadia shows her own combat skill, dual-wielding pistols. At one point, she saves Ethan by gunning down a mercenary sneaking behind him, but trust is thin. Claire and Lucas still on the Sentinel, fear Nadia could betray them at any second. Inside the Tempest's command deck, Ethan finally confronts Adrian Voss. Voss, calm amid chaos, smirks. The storm is honest. Ethan, it doesn't care who lives or dies, it just takes. I respect that, Ethan. You hide behind storms, behind men with guns. But without them, you're just another coward. Voss chuckles. And yet, it's you chasing me into the abyss. That makes you my reflection. Before Ethan can act, Voss detonates charges across the ship, destabilizing it. Sirens blare. The Tempest begins tilting in the roaring waves. The Tempest becomes a battlefield/mausoleum. Explosions rock the corridors as Ethan, Nadia, and Claire fight through mercenaries to reach the cargo hold. Lucas provides drone-guided support from the Sentinel, remotely locking bulkhead doors and hacking cameras. They discover the hold stacked with bioweapons sealed in reinforced containers. Claire gasps. This isn't just about guns. He's planning mass extinction. Ethan sets explosives to destroy the weapons, but Voss arrives, flanked by his elite guards. A violent melee ensues. Guns blaze. Knives flash. Fists collide. In a shocking twist, Nadia turns her gun on Ethan. Nadia whispers, pain in her eyes. He's my brother. Blood is the storm you can't outrun. But before she can shoot, Claire dives at her, knocking the gun aside. A struggle erupts between the two women. Brutal. Desperate. Claire finally overpowers Nadia, leaving her unconscious. Voss escapes deeper into the ship, laughing. The climax unfolds in the storm-lashed upper deck, as the Tempest collapses into the ocean. Ethan hunts Voss through twisted steel and fire. Their final fight is raw and primal. Ethan uses nothing but survival instincts, fists, and broken pipes, while Voss wields a combat knife. Voss, you can't kill the wind. Ethan, I'll always return. Ethan, then I'll bury you in it. Ethan drives Voss into the collapsing mast as lightning strikes. The villain is impaled against the steel, swallowed by the sea. Ethan rescues Claire, carrying her through the flooding corridors. Lucas pilots the Sentinel close enough for extraction. The team barely escapes as the Tempest explodes, a fireball consumed by the roaring storm. They watch from the distance as debris vanishes into the waves. Days later, the storm clears. Claire's footage and evidence expose the Black Wind Syndicate, leading to international crackdowns. Ethan, however, walks away quietly, refusing recognition. Claire finds him by the coast, staring at the horizon. You could stay, help rebuild, help me tell more truths. Ethan, I'm no hero. Claire, I'm just a man who survived the storm. She smiles softly. Maybe that's exactly what a hero is. They share a silent moment as the camera pans out. The ocean calm now, but the faint sound of winds still whispering before the mission. Ethan dreams of his old SEAL unit. In the nightmare, he's back in Afghanistan. A raid goes wrong. An ambush wipes out his men. He alone survives, dragged into the desert windstorm. Their screams echo as the storm buries them in sand. He wakes drenched in sweat aboard the Sentinel. The guilt explains why he resists Claire's calls to fight, because when he fights, people die around him. But Claire challenges him later. Survivor's guilt doesn't mean you failed them, Ethan. It means you're alive for a reason. Maybe that reason is right now. Claire Dawson, truth seeker. Claire's backstory unfolds through her recorded tapes. Her father was a war correspondent, killed in Syria while exposing illegal arms trading. Claire's quest is more than journalism. It's personal vengeance through truth. When Ethan asks why she risks her life for footage, because the camera is my weapon. And one day, it'll kill the men who killed my father. This connection ties her fate directly to Voss's empire. Lucas Kane, from rookie to hero. Lucas is introduced as the nervous tech guy, but his arc evolves. He hacks enemy comms, disrupts drones, and even picks up a rifle when their vessel is boarded. His bravery surprises even Ethan. At one point, Lucas tells Ethan, I used to be terrified of the ocean, couldn't swim past the shore. Now look at me, drowning in bullets and storms. Ethan smirks. Fear makes you sharper, kid. Just don't let it own you.